What's going on, guys? Coming back at you with a brand new video, and the Russian Grand Prix just ended moments ago, and some pretty incredible stuff happened this race, and yeah, let's get into it. Pretty exciting stuff. Alright, so at the start of the race, again, very, very unfortunate stuff for the McLaren Honda team. Fernando Alonzo, unfortunately, didn't even make it to the formation of the cars. He made it through, like, the first formation lap, and then he stalled out, like, at pit lane, and he had to, get his car towed away and walk back to the paddock and be a spectator of this race. And so the cars had to do another formation lap, which chopped off a lap from the actual race, which could play a big role in some of the positioning towards the end of the Russian Grand Prix. But after that, taking the first lap, very incredible start for the Mercedes cars, especially Valtteri Bottas. So qualifying was very interesting. This was the first time the Ferraris has dominated the first row of the the qualifying positions, the pole positions, like both Ferraris in forever, like 10 years or something like that. So eventful start, first off, with the Ferraris up front and the Mercedes in the back two spots behind the Ferraris, but they were not able to retain their position off the start because the Mercedes had an incredible start. Valtteri Bottas, he got off the line, he passed up Sebastian Vettel, which had the pole position. He had the pole position. He passed up Vettel in the first few seconds of the race. Lewis Hamilton was right next to Kimi Räikkönen, but he didn't have the speed to pass him, so he retained that fourth position, which he had coming out of qualifying. But an altercation occurred between Roman Grosjean and another driver. I'm not sure if I can pronounce the name, like Palmer or something, something like that. But a huge crash. The Palmer guy, he was sent through the air, like it was like the front right tire collision, and then his back end like hopped up on the other colliding car, and he just went through the air like for like a solid 2 seconds. He was airborne, which was pretty crazy, pretty gnarly crash. But yeah, that was about the most eventful thing. Lance Stroll, he had another incident. I think like every single race he's been in, he's had an physical contact with another driver, and he just had to whip around, and I'm pretty sure he finished. But another big retirement from this race was Daniel Ricciardo from the Red Bull Racing Team. His car was having major issues with his back right brake, I believe. It caught on fire at one point, and it was just completely done and dusted. So they were really, especially for Max Verstappen on this point, they really wanted him to, put all the braking on his front brakes. I'm pretty sure they can do that in their F1 cars. They can really decide what they do. But not enough so that the front brakes are gonna explode, and the back brakes are completely fine. But because of that, they cautioned Verstappen, so his race was a little slower. He had to be very cautious because they are the same car basically. Daniel Ricciardo's and Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen, he was 5th, I believe, in this race, right behind Lewis Hamilton. So that was the last big eventful thing that happened. Daniel Ricciardo, before this season, he had completed every single race every season, but this 2017 season, he's already been not completed 2 races so far, and this is the 4th race. So, his solid record, his great consistency at completing races has just been completely destroyed. But other than that, pretty interesting because a big deal with the tires here, like, they had Ultra Softs and Super Softs. Ultra Soft was the key tire in this race, and all the drivers wanted to stay on it as long as possible because it's a one-stop race, and after that they would have to put on a different set of tires because you can't do 2 sets of tires of the same compound for each race. You have to get different tires on, and they had to transition to the super softs, which everybody hated for this track, and they were extremely slow. And that's really where the tension built up between Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas in the final laps, because Sebastian Vettel, he stayed out super long on the ultra softs, which made him have an amazing race towards the end, because Bottas, he put on the super softs sooner than Vettel, so you know there was some great competition there where Vettel, he was gaining on Bottas for the last 10 laps maybe. There was 2, then 1. I mean, Vettel got in DRS range so many times. He had I wouldn't say he had so many opportunities to pass Bottas, but it could have been there if, like I said in the beginning, when Fernando Alonzo, he had to quit and they had to add another formation lap, which deleted another actual lap from the race. It went from 53 laps to 52 laps. So I'm just saying, if there was one more lap, maybe Vettel could have claimed that championship, and, you know, Bottas would have had to wait another race to see if he could finally get his first Formula 1 Grand Prix championship. But that again right there, Bottas, that was his very first Formula 1 Grand Prix championship. So congratulations to Valtteri Bottas. I'm still not a big fan of the guy. I'm still rooting Lewis Hamilton all the way. But Lewis, he did not have a particularly good race. His car was overheating constantly. This whole race weekend, he's been having, you know, disconnect with his car. It's not been a very pleasant time with him. And he's won one race so far, but the points and everything, the constructors, not a good time for Lewis right now. 4 races, and I'm not sure he did so well at the beginning of last season either, but he really picked it up. But he still didn't win last season either. That was Rosberg's time to shine, and he got that final hoorah, and then he retired. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Lewis had to struggle. He was like 30 seconds behind Bottas in that first position, and he was in 4th. And, you know, there was just no way for him to ever get up there. At one point, he started to pick up the pace, and then it just fell off. His car was just not in tune with him, or in tune with itself at all. But, yeah, it was a pretty good race. That first initial crash was pretty gnarly. Got some airborne cars in there, but nothing too, like, ridiculous. I mean, everybody was safe and all that stuff, so, yeah. Pretty fun race to watch. Like I said at the very first episode, talking about how the Mercedes and the Ferrari, and just in general all the cars, there's so much more competition this season. It's just not Mercedes. I mean, Mercedes did win, but there was so much competition. It's really coming down to the tires and, you know, just everything, not just one car, and, you know, seeing if it's gonna fail that race to see if someone else can hop on the podium. It's or if the other drivers are gonna take them out, because, you know, that's the only reason that they would win. But now there's some serious competition. The Ferraris are a tad faster than Mercedes, but the Mercedes, I think they, Lewis Hamilton and Bottas, they have better driving skill. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? The skill of drivers, the speed of the cars. I mean, the cars are so much more faster than last year. But yeah, pretty awesome race. Spain is next, and then Monaco. Fernando Alonso will be skipping Monaco and going to the Brickyard, Indianapolis, for the Indianapolis 500. He's going to be testing his car this week, I believe, May 3rd. So if you're in the area, go check it out. It's free admission, and you can go see Fernando Alonso test out the car that he's going to be driving during the Monaco weekend, the Indy 500, May 28th. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. I've said this before, it was a good race, but it was hard seeing Lewis Hamilton so far behind. But, you know, it is what it is. Still enjoyable, very enjoyable race. And yeah, if you like this video and you found it informative at all or interesting, or you like my F1 recaps, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Sharing helps the most. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video. I have some awesome stuff planned, new channel coming out. I'll update you on that. But yeah, I will catch you guys later.